Cam Newton, aka Superman. Cam, the Superman Newton, has spoken up about an all-time historic rookie season from CJ Stroud. This is Sports Guy Talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Cam Newton praising CJ Stroud for having a historic rookie season. Cam Newton on his YouTube channel invited CJ Stroud on his show to debate with himself on who had the greatest rookie season ever. As you guys all know, CJ Stroud led the Texans to a shocking playoff appearance as he had a fantastic year for the Texans. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So here it is. Who had the greatest rookie season ever, Cam Newton or CJ Stroud? And for the people that have been following my takes on CJ Stroud the entire season, you guys know what I'm going to say. You guys know that I have been very high on CJ Stroud the entire season, and that opinion is not going to change anytime soon. I predicted that the Houston Texans were going to overachieve before the season started. I made a video back in September saying that the Houston Texans were going to overachieve and that CJ Stroud would have a historic rookie season. And what happened? The Houston Texans overachieved by winning the AFC South Division title and winning a playoff game, while CJ Stroud had a historic rookie season. The only thing that CJ Stroud didn't do that I thought he would do was break the passing yards record set by a rookie. The only reason why he didn't break it was because he got injured late in the season with a concussion injury. Had CJ Stroud not gotten injured, he would have easily broken the record for most passing yards by a rookie. Is this even a real question? Of course, CJ Stroud is the greatest rookie to have ever played the game of football. And not only is he the greatest rookie to have ever played the game of football, he is also the greatest rookie quarterback that we have ever seen play in the history of the NFL. Yes, I know that Cam Newton exists. Yes, I know Andrew Luck exists. Yes, I know Justin Herbert exists. I don't care. CJ Stroud clearly had a historic year and he was better than all of those guys in the rookie year. You look at how CJ Stroud won 10 games for the Houston Texans. He led them to the NFL playoffs. Not only did CJ Stroud lead them to the NFL playoffs, he even won a playoff game for them. And before anybody says, oh, it's not that hard to win a playoff game as a rookie, Mark Sanchez did it, Joe Flacco did it, and those guys aren't that good. But you guys have to remember that those guys were on great defenses. That was not the case of CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud did not have a great franchise around him. CJ Stroud was on a franchise that struggled to win more than 4 games for 3 straight years. That team was very dysfunctional before CJ Stroud came in, and for CJ Stroud to save that franchise on his back with virtually no running game whatsoever, of course that was pretty special from what we saw of CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud did an incredible job protecting the football in his hands. He only threw 5 interceptions. 3 of them came in 1 game. So in other words, he only threw 2 interceptions if you take away that 1 bad game he had against the Cardinals. But when you look at CJ Stroud, man, this dude is a baller. This guy can make plays happen with his arms and legs. And Cam Newton even said that CJ Stroud had a great season. And Cam Newton used to have the greatest rookie season ever in NFL history. I'm a big Cam Newton guy. As a Carolina Panthers fan, I loved Cam Newton. I liked watching Cam Newton play. I would give anything as a football fan to get Cam Newton back on the football field. I'm talking about prime Cam Newton, just so we're clear here. Not the Cam Newton we saw in 2021 where he was beyond washed, but I'm talking about when Cam Newton was actually fully healthy and could actually play the quarterback position the right way, because we know that Cam Newton was a pioneer for mobile quarterbacks, and to see what Cam Newton did was absolutely phenomenal. I loved watching everything about Cam Newton's play style, his ability to throw deep, his ability to truck over defenders, the ability to score a touchdown from the 1-yard line, making it look so easy when 11 defenders knew that Cam Newton was going to pound the rock in. And to see what Cam Newton did in his prime, you guys had to truly be there to understand the impact that Cam Newton had. I know his completion percentage isn't great, but that's because he never had a great receiving core to begin with. Yeah, I know he had Hall of Famer tight end Greg Olsen, or if he's not a Hall of Famer, he should be a Hall of Famer in my opinion. But outside of Greg Olsen, it's not exactly like he had great wide receivers to work with outside of Steve Smith, who was on the backside of his prime. But Cam Newton said that CJ Stroud had a historic rookie season, and if you don't want to take my word for it, well, I got the clip for you guys to go see. Roll the film.
I don't know nobody who really done had a better rookie campaign than you. But get to your point. You
I would say you be up there. Hold on. Let's have that convo. You had a great rookie season, bro.
Yeah, but we ain't make it the playoff. We didn't win.
I hear you.
You won.
Yeah.
And you made that shit look sexy where you was standing on business.
Appreciate that.
And it wasn't even more of your performance more so than you just defying the odds, bro. You did it with so much class, so much grace.
Boom! Even Cam Newton said that CJ Stroud had the greatest season in NFL history for a rookie quarterback. I've been telling you guys that the entire season, and for the people that did not want to believe that fact, well, Cam Newton, the guy that used to own the title for greatest rookie quarterback ever, even said so himself. And I heard CJ Stroud praise Cam Newton in return. That made me proud of CJ Stroud, getting to see some of my favorite quarterbacks praise each other for the way that they play the game of football, because of the fact that I have been a big fan of Cam Newton, and CJ Stroud is obviously one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL. He's been the guy I've been raving about the most on my YouTube channel this year. So to see CJ Stroud praise Cam Newton the way they did and vice versa, it makes me feel good to see as a fan of both of those quarterbacks. And the sky is the limit for CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is a superstar in the making. CJ Stroud is the guy that could beat Patrick Mahomes one day on the Kansas City Chiefs. I truly believe that if Patrick Mahomes is going to be dethroned in the AFC, which is going to be looking very hard, the Houston Texans are going to be the team that has a really good shot to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs. I know some people might be saying, what about the Buffalo Bills? What about the Cincinnati Bengals? What about the Baltimore Ravens? What about the Miami Dolphins? Haven't you forgotten any of those contenders? But you guys have to remember that they all have quarterbacks that are about to get paid big time money, or in the case of the Miami Dolphins, they've got Tua Tagovailoa, who is just simply not good enough when you compare him to the top tier of quarterbacks in the National Football League. I truly believe the Houston Texans have the best shot of dethroning the Kansas City Chiefs in the next 5 years. Why? Because I'm looking at the fact that they already have the top 5 quarterback in the National Football League in CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is the Michael Jordan of the NFL in terms of how Michael Jordan played as a rookie. This dude transformed the Houston Texans big time. If the Houston Texans can find a way to get CJ Stroud a real wide receiver one, this dude is going to be a superstar in the making. I know that they've got Nico Collins and Tank Dell. You don't need to tell me about them. I know those guys can play, but they're not real wide receiver ones. Nico Collins will be a wide receiver too on most teams. Tank Dell would be a slot receiver if he played on most teams. Obviously, guys like Noah Brown and Dalton Schultz are solid, but it's not exactly like those guys are star players at their positions. They're just solid players. The Houston Texans need to go ahead and get a star skill player, whether it's a star running back, a star wide receiver, or a star tight end. Because when you look at what the Houston Texans have, they've got pieces, but they don't have that superstar that's going to make them elevate against competition to teams like the Ravens and the Chiefs. When you look at what the Houston Texans have, they've got it pretty good, but let's try to make it pretty great. That way, they can go up to Kansas City and compete their asses off against them. Because you look at the fact how Patrick Mahomes is just in the middle of his prime. This dude is basically playing like Bulls MJ in terms of when Michael Jordan was three-peating. That's how dominant Patrick Mahomes has been for the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, you look at how Cam Newton, he praised CJ Stroud. I want to get back to this point. I was really proud of it because you guys have to remember that there's only been 5 passers that have ever thrown for over 4,000 yards as a rookie. That was Cam Newton, Andrew Luck, Jameis Winston, Justin Herbert, and CJ Stroud. Pretty good company to be in unless you're Jameis Winston. That's because Jameis Winston has an interception problem. But unless CJ Stroud all of a sudden starts throwing a ton of picks, I'm going to assume that CJ Stroud is not going to have a turnover problem and that he is going to be a superstar in the making, because Cam Newton won an MVP, Andrew Luck was an elite quarterback before injuries took over his game, and Justin Herbert is known as an elite quarterback. So if CJ Stroud can continue the current trajectory that he is on, he is going to be an elite player at his position. I'm really excited to watch CJ Stroud play next season because I know he's going to get a lot better from his rookie season. If you guys could even imagine that guy is going to be an MVP candidate moving forward. I love that Cam Newton recognized real talent at the quarterback position and that he actually talked positively about a quarterback in the National Football League, because Cam Newton has made a lot of headlines for talking smack about current quarterbacks in the National Football League. You guys remember the comments that he made about Tua Tagovailoa, Dak Prescott, and Brock Purdy all being game managers? I do. I remember he got ripped by the mainstream media. And what happened? None of those guys won an MVP or got a ring out of it. So it looks like Cam Newton might have actually made a good point after all, with the exception of Brock Purdy, but that's because Brock Purdy might be playing on a loaded football team. So we might not actually know if Brock Purdy is legitimately good or if he's just being put on a super team. I'm not saying whether or not that's true. I'm just saying that's what the narrative seems like right now for Brock Purdy. Obviously, I believe CJ Stroud had the greatest rookie season ever for a quarterback. Even Cam Newton said so himself. I think that should settle the debate, because I know some people have been saying, are you sure CJ Stroud had a great rookie year? Of course he had a great year. Even Cam Newton said that he had a better rookie year than Cam Newton himself. And we all know that Cam Newton is always very confident in his own abilities. So for Cam Newton to concede that tells me CJ Stroud was very good his rookie year, and that it doesn't get any better than that from the perspective of CJ Stroud, because as great as Cam Newton was for the Panthers, it's not exactly like the Panthers were a playoff team in 2011, while CJ Stroud won a playoff game in his rookie season while carrying the Houston Texans. So that is why CJ Stroud definitely had the greatest rookie season ever for a quarterback, although Cam Newton's rookie season was also pretty historic as well. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video and please comment down below. If you guys do that, may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @Dustin Tran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @Dustin Tran and @Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video. Comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.